Hi, I'm Motshidisi Mohono, and you're watching Grit Sports TV. Motshidisi Mohono is a young girl who grew up in Katlehong on the East Rand. I was a Kasi girl for forever. I grew up in a house with my two younger siblings, my mom and my dad, and a very fun childhood. I was the kid that you'd find stratin, playing with my friends, that kind of thing. But I was also a bit of a nerd. I was really, really smart. I am really, really smart. But in school, I did really well grades-wise. So I was always the smart firstborn, bossy, nyana kid.
Yeah, you see that. I mean, what role has your upbringing played in molding you as a world beater?
I think in terms of character, just being strong, being resilient, being courageous, going after what you want. When you grow up in the township and you are surrounded by social ills, you realize that you have to go the extra mile if you want to step up and come out of that environment, of that place. Girls my age were struggling, not doing well at school, falling pregnant at an early age, that kind of thing. And my parents, especially my dad, worked really hard to shelter us or to protect us from that. But he also taught us to be strong and smart, to work hard and to be resilient, to not take no for an answer.
Fair enough. I mean, looking at the challenges of your upbringing, were there any doubts in your mind in achieving your dreams or your goals?
Not at all. Not at all. The first time I was awarded anything was in grade 3. I was given the award for the best grade 3 learner. And that's when I realized that, being smart has its perks. It will open you doors. It will get you a seat at the table. So working hard then just became standard procedure for me. And I think that's something that every child should be instilled with, that your hard work is rewarded, that you don't have to take shortcuts. It doesn't always depend on who you know or getting in Kapek, or your talent and your knowledge will always shine through.
So you clearly have a love for sports. What sports did you participate in growing up in your primary school and high school?
I played netball in primary school, throughout primary school, but in high school, I went to a high school that had other sporting codes that I didn't know of, and that was hockey. So I played hockey in high school for a couple of years. Under 15A, and then under 16, I didn't make the A team, and then I went back to netball because hockey was giving me a bit of back problems as well. But always a team sport, and I really, really enjoyed it.
Okay. And then on your professional life, for young and aspiring girls and boys out there, what does being a presenter do, and what is a typical day basically for a person that works in your industry?
Presenting is like inviting yourself into other people's homes. I become Pila's friend, and I open my world to Upila, and I say, Pila, this is my panel. What would you like to know from these guys? So I'm sort of the medium between you and the experts. That's what the presenter does. And your day doesn't necessarily start on the day that you're on air. You have to do your checks, know the logs, know the teams that are going in, the preparation, who's on the team sheet, why is that guy in and that guy out, is it injury related, is it form related, and if it's form, what is the problem with the guy that's been left out? He's not even on the bench, So that kind of knowledge you need to prepare, and it doesn't start on a Saturday morning. Saturday is when you walk into studio already knowing what you know, and then a little conversation with the guys, and then we go on air. And I think everything that happens behind the scenes sets the tone for what you will see on air.
Fair.
Yeah.
All right. With occupations, basically, I mean, they all have their perks and downsides. Would you like to enlighten us on your experiences?
Obviously, the perks are being around some of the best rugby minds in the world. And I don't just work in rugby. I do a lot of netball, a lot of hockey as well. I've met amazing women through those two sporting codes as well. And just the work that athletes put in, you when you're sitting at home watching, it feels like just they're just talented. You don't understand the regiment that they have to follow, the eating, the training, and the mental aspect of it as well. And I think working in the place that I work in, it's enlightened me to the work that goes into being an athlete, mostly. And those are one of the perks. The downsides, there are a few downsides, but it's stuff that you can handle. Some people are still not open to the idea of women being leaders in sports. They feel like the sports arena is still very much male dominated, and it is, but it doesn't mean that we don't know what we're talking about. It doesn't mean that we're trying to take over the space. I personally want to represent a demographic that I feel is being left aside. Black people watch rugby, women watch rugby, and you go to a table where women are watching and discussing this thing, and you'd be shocked at their knowledge. I've been shocked at their knowledge, So I want to represent the girls that feel like no way I can do that. I want to pioneer that sort of walking your own paths, to say I can do anything, like literally anything. And sometimes I wake up and I'm like, how is this my life? From where I come from, I should have been a football presenter easily, because I was around it all the time. But I decided, let me walk on the road less traveled. Let me take on a code where I don't see someone who looks like me in front of camera.
That's it. Okay, you've achieved a lot in your career. Having been the host of the Louis World Sports Awards. Can you tell us a bit about that experience?
The Laureus. The Laureus is like, it's cool.
Was it your first time going overseas?
No, it wasn't. Shanghai. No, it wasn't. I went to Thailand before Shanghai. Yeah. It might not have been. No, it was. My first time overseas was in 2014. I went to Thailand with a bunch of friends, but it was my first work trip overseas, and a big honor. The Laureus Awards are like the Oscars of sports awards. The best of the best come out. And Shanghai was I think, because it was my first time doing the job, it was a shock to the system. You're in a foreign country where you can't even use your social media, you're not available on Gmail, you can't really send a lot of things home. So there were a lot of challenges. I did Berlin last year. That was so much better. Because now I'm going in for the second time. I know what to look forward to. I know the challenges that I'll probably be facing, so I was better prepared. But you're speaking to the Boris Bakers of the world, the Louis Figos of the world, Lewis Hamiltons of the world. It's spectacular how human they become when they're standing right in front of you. And I hope to see more South Africans there. I know Wayne van Niekerk was nominated in the Newcomer of the Year this year, but he was up against pretty stiff competition there. But I hope to see more South Africans not only being nominated, but also inducted into the academy.
Tell me, is the process whereby SuperSport decides that, okay, let's say this today, Carol tomorrow, who actually goes to the Louis Sports Awards?
I have no idea actually how it works.
So you just got a call?
I just got a call that said, hey, you are in. You must cover this for us. We are testing you. And I was like, let's go. Yeah. So it was an amazing opportunity.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, now moving on to your Lady Rugger. This was the beginning of your career.
TV career. Yeah.
So you came third at Lady Rugger for SuperSport presenter. This was in 2011.
Yeah.
For the Rugby World Cup. What made you enter?
It was actually a day. I had been on radio for 3 years by then, since 2008. And my boyfriend at the time was like, there's these auditions, I think you should go. And I'm like, no, but rugby was a high school thing, something we watched in high school, It's not like I know everything about the sport, blah, blah, blah. And he insisted that I go. then I sat with a bunch of guy friends of mine, and they were like, "Whoa, this is what you need to know, blah 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 blah, positioning, play, the lineouts, the scrums, the whatever," and I really felt like I was out of my depth. I felt like it would be easier if it was like a football audition, you know.
Oh, fair.
But I went anyway. I remember arriving, and it was so packed. I registered, and then I asked the girl in front of me to call me when it's my time to come on.
Yes.
And then I left. And then she called me and said, "Hey, it's almost time for us to go. Are you still coming back?" And I did. I went back. And then I went straight in. There's a little piece that you had to learn. So I had to learn that off by heart. And then you go into where the judges are sitting and you present your piece to camera. And I remember it was Derek Alberts and Crystal Arnold that were the judges at the time. I did my piece to camera. They asked me another question. I answered it, and they were like, "Listen, you're in." I think I was about the 8th person
Really?
on the day to be given the green light. And this was at night, so there were very few people left. Very, very few girls left. Like, and I couldn't believe that throughout the day, I would have made it in as well. I would add, though, that I think doing radio has really, really helped me in that audition, because it's so much easier to articulate yourself when it's been your job to do so for a long time. So that also helped immensely.
Okay, so basically you've covered this. All right, now you're a presenter on Paga, Skip Metro FM, and Super Sport. So basically, how do you juggle all Paga, Super Sport, Saturdays? How do you juggle all that work together into one?
Well, when I was on radio, it was very difficult, schedule-wise, because radio is Monday to Friday, but then there's varsity sports on Monday, and it's in Cape Town, but you fly back, and you fly back late on Tuesday, so you miss your show again. So it was really difficult to sort of balance the two, and I realized that I had come to a point where I wasn't giving my 100% to both mediums, but I knew that my growth path would be in television. There was just more room for me to grow there, so I picked television. That was back in 2015. Now it's so much easier because I have more time to settle into the show and to settle into anchoring on weekends. So, for example, with Paga, I'll get my running order tomorrow, but tomorrow morning I already know this is what's coming up on the show, this is who you're interviewing, etc. And I will have the whole day to sort of break it down for myself. What do I want from my subject out of that interview? What do I want to convey? How are we educating people? What is it? What new thing are we trying to teach our viewers? And then after Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday and Friday, I'm prepping for studio. So that is just waiting on team sheets, team backgrounds, going through the stats, that kind of thing. And not just the stats, but why things are the way they are. You can have a stat that says a team has won 100% of its scrums, but stats don't show the scrum dominance. So we'll never know how many scrums they've taken away from you, kind of thing. The numbers don't show that. But you need to have watched, you need to have read the papers, you need to have sat with the analysts to realize that, they are also dominating other teams at the set piece, so this is their strength. And convey that and educate people about that when you're sitting in the studio with a panel.
Nice. Chris? Now you work with, by and large, a white and male-dominated industry. How have you coped on a day-to-day challenge? I think we've also covered a bit of this.
Yeah, it's the resilience I spoke about earlier. You have to have immense self-belief in this business, in broadcasting as a whole, because if you doubt yourself even for a second, you make room for other people to doubt you as well, and they are waiting for you to open that door, because they already feel you do not deserve to be in the space, or some people feel that you don't deserve to be in that space. I'm very fortunate to work in a space where the guys really believe in what I'm doing. They believe in opening the industry to women, and I just happen to be a black woman on the platform, and they have been very welcoming, very, very open. Our producers, our directors, right to the top, our CEO and our head of production, because we want this to be a space where everybody is represented. When you watch, you need to see yourself there. You need to feel like you're being represented. You need to feel like this is a product I can support, because my thoughts, I am represented holistically. What I look like from the outside and what I'm thinking as well, you know. I want you to watch and hear a question you've been thinking about all day come across, you know. But I also want you to watch and be like, hey man, you know, the girl from the hood is kicking it, you know, she's kicking ass and taking names, you know what I'm saying? Because then it inspires you, because for a long time it's always felt like a space where black people can't thrive. And when the more of ourselves we see in the space, the more we believe in our dreams, whatever they may be, and the more we strive to make them come true.
Definitely. Yeah, good sports. Okay, some of the guys in the rugby fraternity basically don't feel South Africa should be part of Super Rugby. I mean, this coming from an old stalwart, call it Andrew Mertens, New Zealand, former half, and Sterling Motlop, also an Australian legend, centre. I mean, they believe that South Africa should not be part of it. Mertens says things like time zones are different. I mean, it will help New Zealand teams to play more of the Pacific Islanders, Japanese, because it's closer, and Australian than South Africa can just join with Argentina. I mean, your thoughts and views on the participation of South African teams within Super Rugby?
I think the frustration for most people is the fact that because of the inclusion of so many nations, the competition is so much longer. It's drawn out, you know, and you also have teams that are participating that, with all due respect, their caliber is not as high as the rest of the group. I think that is Milton's frustration, that it drags on too long and you're having games where you call it weeks before the players even run onto the field. With that said, I think South Africa needs to be playing the best in the world. The best in the world right now is New Zealand teams. We need that kind of competition. Australia need that competition. And you know, I know Mortlock says it as well, but looking at the Australian conference, for example, the Brumbies are sitting at the top on 11 points. In New Zealand, the Blues are on 11 points and they're fourth. You know, we have 4 teams in the Africa conference that are above 11 points. So what does that say about the Australian conference, you know? It can't just be based on time zones. It can't just be based on, I don't want to wake up at 2 in the morning to watch the game. You know, we wake up at 8 in the morning to watch a Crusaders game. And we will do it because we need to know, how are they playing? What are they doing well? What can we incorporate? When will we see this in South African rugby as well? The synergy for me and the frustration for me, I think, is just at the fact that it's so drawn out. And I've heard calls for teams like the Sunwolves, the Southern Kings, even Jaguares may be excluded from the competition.
Yeah, they touch it.
You know what I'm saying? But then look at that Australian conference again. What about the Reds? You know, what about the Waratahs? The Waratahs are really struggling this year. So if they're going to axe, I don't think they should axe across the board, because time zones for me, it's just not a good enough reason. I don't want to wake up to watch a game. It's not a good enough reason for us to cut South Africa out. And South Africa need to be playing the best in the world to be the best in the world. Yeah.
And your local franchise, who do you support?
I support good rugby.
What?
I support good rugby, but because I'm a Joburg girl, I think I am a Lions fan. They have had, and I think they've stolen all hearts with their 2016 Super Rugby campaign, you know. They really have shown how things can be turned around. I think John Mitchell set the platform for them, and Johan Ackerman has just ran with it.
Yeah.
And what they're doing right from the youngsters through to the seniors has been really brilliant to see. They do need to work on their depth though.
I mean, looking at our franchises, now we have Stara as a captain, we have Sia as a captain. I mean, what roles do you think these guys, or the impact
it's huge.
It plays on the youngsters growing up?
It's
we have
huge.
These guys leading some of the franchises. I mean, the numbers aren't really great, but I mean, we're moving forward.
No, it's big, and like you say, it is a big step forward. It is a huge move, and kudos to the Stormers, you know, because we've got to just change the landscape of this game. We have to. Everyone needs to feel represented. Everyone needs to feel included, and I don't think people realize the magnitude of having the black guy. Or like he had to go through all of it just to become the Sia Khaleesi that we know today. And that guy's running onto the field, and you're just like, my problems are small, man. I can do whatever I want to do, you know.
Definitely.
He's our hero. He's someone that everybody can look up to. So it's so huge. It's so huge, and it was so downplayed for me, you know. I feel like it should have just garnered a lot more response, a bigger response. Because it's really, really big.
It's got a very good story.
Yeah, maybe I'm just coming from a personal angle here because, you know, Sia's the bomb, but it's huge for a youngster, for example, that's sitting in my hood thinking, I really want to play this game, but I'm not supported in this all football environment. And to see Sia Khaleesi doing his thing and leading the Stormers so well so far this season, it's so applaudable. I applaud the Stormers and him for taking up the mantle. Yes.
And then now, okay, you're an ambassador for success for many youth and men and women basically look up to you. And what would be your message for young up and coming talent or people like you say that grew up in tough times and now basically they see you and they're like, I want to be like,
you know, know what it is that you want to do, you know. Zero in on that one dream that you want to make come true, and then do everything in your power to make sure that you get it. Don't feel like the world owes you. We've all been through tough times, and that's what people up in the highest echelons of whatever industry will tell you. We all go through tough times. We've all seen the worst in our lives, but you can't let that be a hindrance to making your dreams come true. Whatever it is that you want to do, you need to go out there 100%. Do your research. Find out who works in this business. Where can you go to learn more? The internship opportunities, you know. Get together with people within that industry. If you want to bake, go and sit at a bakery. See how they bake, what sort of techniques they use, which school can teach you more culinary skills. We need to go out there more. We need to be exposed more, you know, because sometimes I feel like everybody wants to be either a presenter or a DJ or, you know, they want to be famous. But who's going to be the doctor? Who's going to be the dentist? Who's going to be the astronomer? You know, there are many, many ways to make money. You need to pick your path and you need to research it as much as you can, and then go 100% in the direction of your dream. Yes.
And then now, basically, I mean, being a woman, it's quite tough to come into these industries. Your TVs, you're presenting, your sports, especially male-dominated sports. I mean, what kind of message? What message would you give other South African women on basically achieving their dreams?
Be unrelenting. Don't take no for an answer. You know, 1,000 no's will turn into that one big yes, but you can't stop at the first point of rejection. And people must realize it's not an easy industry to get into. So you are going to be rejected a lot of times, many times. But if you know your stuff, if you are knowledgeable, if you have the talent, someone is going to recognize that. It's going to take just one person to say, I see something there. Something is good there. There's something there that we can use. But don't stop when people say, I don't think you have it. But just because I don't think you have it doesn't mean Pila doesn't see something else that he feels can be nurtured and something amazing can come of that. I think we give up on our dreams too soon, you know, because we just don't know how to handle rejection. So be unrelenting. If it's not going to work for Metro, it may work for Y. It may work for Jacaranda. It may work for EWN Sport, you know, for Mix FM, for any other radio station. So don't just go to the first door and when it closes, you pack your dream in a box and say, I am done with that, you know. Go, continue, be unrelenting, and you'll be rewarded.